If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve.
The Skinner Law Firm, SkinnerFirm.com.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Thinking about making that big move but don't know where to start? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group. Chris is a Martinsburg High School graduate and knows the local market, and he's proven it for the past 15 years at Milestone Real Estate Group. Looking to sell or buy a home? Phone 304-579-7349, and that's 304-579-7349, or go to callchrisross.com. Making milestones is our business.
The following sports broadcast is a special presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. It's time for the excitement of West Virginia high school basketball. Today's high school basketball broadcast is being brought to you by
Bechtel Jewelers, Brown's Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, CMA Honda of Winchester, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, the Mirius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, Hagerstown Ford, Orsini's Home Store, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, and WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Center.
And now, let's go courtside and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team with today's pregame show.
One of the oldest rivalries in the EPAC takes center stage tonight. It's Martinsburg and Hedgesville. They're separated by less than 10 miles. Last season, it started with a three-point barrage from Cam Wilkes and Christian Bolduc in Game 1, where the Eagles won 67-61.
Matthew back top of the key to Bolduc, and Bolduc, he can't miss from downtown with another three. That's a head fakes. Another long three. Oh, Cameron Wilkes light it up.
In Game 2, it was a back-and-forth affair that saw Martinsburg win 66-60 in overtime.
Second, 6, 5, 4, Wilkes. Cam Wilkes with a man in his face. Ties it.
In Game 3, saw Martinsburg win the Section 1 championship.
The foul. Martinsburg wins the section, and they will host Musselman in the regional championship next week with a chance to go to state.
It's Coach Kelly Church, it's Coach Dave Rogers, and it's Hedgesville and Martinsburg, and it's all coming your way on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 right now.
A very pleasant good evening and welcome to the Gilbert B. Miller Center here at Hedgesville High School for some EPAC basketball action. In fact, one of the oldest rivalries here in EPAC boys hoops. Spencer Dupuy joined alongside Nick Verzolini. Happy to have you with us for Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 Sports. Cameramen tonight, John Alderton and Colin McLaughlin. Back in the studio, Dylan Bishop. We're happy to have you with us for this one here on the Countdown to Tip-Off, brought to you by Sunset Water Services. Proudly installing water softeners in Martinsburg and Berkeley County since 1989. And Nick, this game kind of different in years past, where one team is way far out ahead in the other in wins, about 6 wins more, or 4 wins more does Hedgesville have, but it's still Hedgesville-Martinsburg, and it still has that rivalry feel, especially right now in this gym for JV action. That's tied at 28, under 2 to go.
Yeah, I mean, JV kind of setting the tone here for the varsity game, and anytime Hedgesville and Martinsburg get together, it's a rivalry game, so you really don't need to look too much into the records. It should be a pretty competitive game here tonight. We've already seen this young Martinsburg team, play well against Jefferson for 3 quarters, and Jefferson is definitely one of the best, if not the best team in the EPAC this year again. So, they were competitive with them. I see no reason why they can't be competitive with this Hedgesville team, if not pull off an upset. So it's a rivalry game. These two teams know that. They know that the record doesn't really matter on either side, and it should be a good game. I mean, this is one of the longest running, like you said, and probably the best rivalry in the Eastern Panhandle when it comes to basketball.
Yeah, and you go back to the 90s, these two teams, and even the early 2000s, these two teams, the fans for these two teams were sitting outside of the schools at 3 p.m. for a 7:30 tip, just trying to get in and get a ticket. There were times where you couldn't even get into these ball games, and they at one point had to move this series to Shepherd, to the Butcher Center, and that just goes to show the kind of the caliber of basketball in this area. And you mentioned a few guys that come to mind in basketball that come from these two schools. Obviously Kevin Pittsnoggle, and another one from Hedgesville. No, I meant Kevin Pittsnoggle from these two schools, Kevin Pittsnoggle from Martinsburg. C.J. Burks, just a guy around the state from Hedgesville, just to name 2 guys off the top of my head, Nick.
Yeah, those are 2 great players. Kelly Church's sons played at Hedgesville, and they were good players as well in their own right. But, there's been so many great players in this rivalry, so many big games, and I think we're going to see a good attendance here tonight. It might not be as crazy as it once was to get a ticket here, but with COVID kind of getting back to normal, I guess we're on the brighter side of it. People are starting to come out more. We saw that for the Spring Mills Martinsburg game, and that's not a historic rivalry. It's kind of trying to become a rivalry between the Cardinals and the Dogs. And, Hedgesville Martinsburg has so much meaning, so many more alumni, a lot of people that still, live in the area. So I would expect a good crowd tonight. They got the upstairs bleachers open. They're starting to fill up. Most of the lower section here on the home side has filled up, so just kind of waiting for the away side to completely fill. But, it's a good crowd, and it should be an intense atmosphere here tonight.
Yeah, it definitely should be an intense atmosphere. And, looking at these two teams, you look right at the bench for Martinsburg, and new assistant coach this year, Marcellus Basie. He was in this rivalry.
One of those legends.
Yeah, one of those guys that was in this rivalry. And, obviously he brings that to the bench and, to the practices this week. And, this game does mean more to these two cities, or these two towns.
Yeah, for sure. And, 2 legendary head coaches. Dave Rogers has been in Martinsburg for 44 years. Coach Church is in his 25th year, I do believe, is what we confirmed earlier here today. So, these coaches have been going at it for over 20 years, and they're both legends. They both won state championships. Martinsburg's last one coming in 2009. I think Hedgesville won in 2012. So, they are 2 really big programs, not only in the Eastern Panhandle, but in the entire state of West Virginia. They're always contenders to win it all. So, this year Martinsburg may be a little bit young, and Hedgesville would be looked at as the bigger contender between the two. But, in a couple of years, you got to give this Martinsburg team, and like I say all the time, if you wear the black and orange jersey of Martinsburg, it's a quality win and it's a quality team. It doesn't matter if they're full of sophomores and freshmen and juniors, or a bunch of seniors that have been playing for a long time. It's Martinsburg. They're one of the biggest schools around here, and they're a power in most of the sports, especially on the boys' side. And then for Hedgesville, they've been consistently good as well, and in all sports. So, I would expect this to be, or like we said before, it's a huge rivalry. It's 2 of the best programs, not only in the EPAC, but in the state of West Virginia, and that's what makes things so special.
Yeah, when you look at this roster for Hedgesville, a new name on this roster this year for the Eagles, but if you're a Martinsburg person and if you're an Eagles player, you obviously knew him at Martinsburg. That being Stephon Barclay. He transfers over to Hedgesville, and he hasn't seen a lot of time tonight, or this year so far. Or he hasn't seen a lot of, I guess, points, a success in shooting this year, but he is getting the start tonight.
Yeah, Barclay actually started the last game we were at here against New Life Christian. He had a good game. He had an excellent dunk, and you look at his numbers, he's been pretty good when it comes to field goal percentage, shooting 47%. So even though he's not averaging a huge point total, but he does have the ability to score. We saw last year he was one of the better players on that Martinsburg team when he was able to be in the lineup, and that was a pretty veteran squad last year. So he's familiar with this team. Him and Cam Wilkes are both transfers from Martinsburg. Wilkes has been with the Eagles now for 2 years. This is Barclay's first year with Hedgesville. So they've been on both sides of the rivalry, and they know what this is all about. And obviously all these kids either play together in the summer, or they know each other. So there's a great familiarity here in this rivalry, and that's what also adds to it. The schools are only 10 miles away.
Yeah, and when you come down to that, it even trickles down to the JV level. It's 30-30 right now, under 12 seconds to go in this very intense game here at the Gilbert B. Miller Center.
Dogs trying to avoid overtime, but they travel.
And you can hear it's already intense from these Eagles fans.
Yeah, I mean, how often does the JV game get a big cheer like that, right? And I think that shows how much it matters. I mean, tends to be if the JV game's close toward the end. The students have all piled in, so they're obviously supporting their fellow classmates. But we'll see if we get overtime in JV and how this one concludes between Martinsburg and Hedgesville. Hedgesville has a little bit of time here, so
we'll look back at these two teams' prior contest. For Martinsburg, it was a game Tuesday at Hampshire where they had to win in overtime, 57-54. And, Nick, they were in the lead at halftime.
Yeah, they were in the lead at halftime against Hampshire.
By 12, double digits.
And they still found a way to win. And that was a game that we talked about on the Sports Mix a lot, how Martinsburg's EPAC schedule is just brutal to begin things. You got to play Spring Mills, Jefferson, Hedgesville. Not in that order. It was Jefferson, Spring Mills, Hedgesville. Those are expected to be the three top teams in the EPAC to start things off. So to have that game kind of in between against Hampshire, a winnable game, really helps.
And a win at the buzzer. Is that Ethan Elliott? He nails the three at the buzzer, and Hedgesville JV wins 33-30. And that was not just a spot up at the line. Three, Nick. That was a pretty deep three.
Yeah, that was a deep triple. But you could tell it was good. I mean, he got great rotation on the shot, so that sets the tone.
Yeah,
the varsity game here tonight.
And I really think that's going to set the tone for this game tonight, Nick. And the crowd's all riled up and everything. And I think that, that bodes well for Kelly Church's team tonight. And with that, we'll step aside for our first break on the countdown to the Sunset Water countdown to tip-off. We'll be back. We'll have our coaches' interviews. We'll catch up first with Martinsburg head coach Dave Rogers, and then we'll hear from Hedgesville head coach Kelly Church. After this 2-minute break, you're tuning in to EPAC basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Back in 2 minutes.
Insurance companies like to play games. They say they're on your side, but they aren't. We have a team that can handle any curveball they throw. At Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, you get a dedicated lawyer, and every case gets a team effort. So you get nearly 150 combined years of experience going to bat for you. And we like to win. Join the team that takes your personal injury case seriously. Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson. We play hardball.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value brand.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
Hi, this is Lauren from Orsini's right here in Martinsburg. Grilling is not just for the boys. We are a Platinum Traeger dealer carrying the Pro Series all the way up to the Timberline Series. We have every flavor of wood pellets along with accessories, rubs, sauces. Not just Traeger, we carry Utz, Meat Church, Lanes, and Dizzy Pig. We also carry a full line of Yeti products. Orsini's has everything to complete your backyard. Visit us at 360 Hack Wilson Way or at Orsinis.com.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is prevent, promote, protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
Back to the Gilbert B. Miller Center here on the campus of Hedgesville High School. As we get you ready for Martinsburg at Hedgesville. Spencer, we joined alongside Nick Verzolini. Happy to have you with us for the Sunset Water Countdown to tip-off. Now it's time for the coaches' interviews, brought to you by Rock's Local Markets with convenient locations all around the Eastern Panhandle. Rock's, fast, fresh, friendly. We'll start with Martinsburg head coach Dave Rogers.
We're joined by Coach Rogers, and Coach, you guys got a overtime victory on Tuesday at Hampshire. You were leading in that game at half. What was the second half like, and you guys were able to come out with a victory, though?
Well, we were up by 12 at half. Going into the fourth quarter, we're up by 10. And I told the kids after the game, it was almost like a deja vu all over again. When we were in Myrtle Beach, they hit 2 or 3 good shots. We didn't make our 2 or 3 good shots, and now we're in a dogfight. We've actually given away 2 or 3 of those this year. Just by simply them hitting some good shots, us not making ours, and the tide turns. But you know what? Our kids kept fighting. Believe it or not, that's a tough place to play. But I thought our kids did a good job.
You guys get the win. Now you're turning your attention to Hedgesville. It's a big rivalry, one of the oldest in the EPAC. And, just watching a lot of stuff this week, that documentary that came out. And it's obviously a big game tonight, no matter where both teams sit.
Well, it is. Your schedule during the EPAC games is going to determine where you're seated in the sectional tournament, whether you're playing home or away, and who you're playing. So, and every game is important from now on. We just got to make sure we do what we're supposed to do and take care of business. And we've got some kids sick tonight, so we're going to dig down a little deeper in our forces on the bench, and we'll play hard as we can play.
What have you seen from this Hedgesville team so far this year?
Well, you got to realize there are about 8 or 9 seniors. I think they've been grooming. This group started as sophomores, and they've been grooming them for 2 or 3 years. So basically, this is their year, and they can shoot the ball. They understand the game. We respect everybody we play, we have to do what we have to do because we have one senior.
And, going back to those games last year, we saw LaQuay Clark, who has been a big contributor to your team this year. He made a few threes in one of those games. And how much do you think playing in one of these big rivalry games means to a young kid like him last year, and he'll take it and potentially could lead the team tonight?
Well, we hope it does a good job. He's one of our guys that is not feeling well. So we don't know what we're going to get out of him tonight. It's up to him. He'll know how he feels, but just the guts enough to say, hey, I'm not feeling well, but I want to play. It tells me a lot about that young man. And, we have Jackson Steen not even with his dressed. He's been sick all week. And so, it's one of those things where you have to prepare. You have to play aggressive. And you got to come out and lay it on the line. We've talked with our guys somewhere down the road that a lot of times we don't get the effort and energy that we think we ought to get. And I think we've got enough nice guys that if we ever start getting that, we could cause some rumbles.
And you have assistant on the bench this year in Marcellus who was here when, it was 2 hours. It took 2 hours before you could get in the game, and you guys probably couldn't even get into the gym if you were visitors. How much do you think that it helps having a coach like Marcellus say, hey, I've been there, I've done that in these big-time games?
Well, it's wonderful. He's done a great job for us. We're glad to have him with our program. He's contributed a lot. He's got a lot of experience behind him. He was All-State in 3 sports and the Gatorade Basketball Player of the Year when he was a senior. And during that time tenure. We lost in the finals his sophomore year, semis his junior year, and the finals his senior year. We just were we were lacking size, and back then if you didn't have a little bit of size, so our biggest man I think was about 6'3". But you know, what a great asset to have him. The kids enjoy him. He understands what's going on, and we're just so grateful to have him.
Anything else you want to add, Coach?
No, thank you. Let's go play basketball.
All right, thanks for the time. Best of luck.
You bet.
We're joined by head coach for the Hedgesville Eagles, Coach Church, and you guys 9-2 on the season. You got a 50-29 victory over Musselman last week. What's been clicking for your team so far this season?
You know, I think we're obviously if we shoot well, you know, we're a better team. We try to be as consistent as we can throughout the year with our defense. I mean, it's been an emphasis all year, so you know, that'll obviously be a focal point for tonight. You know, as long as we share the ball, we've had different kids, we have different bigger scoring nights than others. You know, but I think the main thing for us is we have to guard, and if we guard and we do it well, then that gives us a chance.
We haven't seen you guys on TV 10 since before the Christmas holiday. You guys went down to Florida, went 1-2, but I'm assuming you learned a lot of stuff about your team.
We did. You know, in the first game, you know, lots of times, you know, the good coach speak as well. If we played them 10 times, you know, we could maybe get one. We could have played the team we played the first night 50 times, and we'd be 0-50. They were a ton better than us. They were a ton bigger, stronger, and more skilled. And what happened was, like, and again, I obviously mean this figuratively, like we got punched in the mouth. And the second night, we didn't respond very well. So we had gotten smacked pretty hard, and our bounce back wasn't great. Kids are tired, long bus ride on the way down. We had a flat tire on the bus. You're going all the way to Miami. It's a long trip anyway. A flat tire adds to it. Kids were tired. And I was sick part of the trip, and you know, you add all those things together, and you faced some adversity, and we didn't handle it very well. So we talked about those things, and if you weren't going to have a great attitude, you weren't going to play hard, you weren't going to play. And I think sometimes going through some of those things, you know, it's when things are always sunshine and roses, and then all of a sudden they're not. You haven't had to deal with it, then you don't know what to do. So we certainly grew up a lot, you know, and we were able to get one win. We're happy with the one win we got. We learned a lot about ourselves, and you know, hopefully we learned some lessons that'll help us down the road.
And here you are sitting at 9-2 and going into this game against Martinsburg. Obviously it's a big rivalry, and you know, being able to catch up on a lot of stuff, not being from here. I've, you know, watched that documentary, and you get that whole week to prepare for them and kind of see what goes on. And you know, this is a different Martinsburg team kind of than previous years, but they got some young guys that can do some things.
Oh, certainly. I mean, you know, Avion's not young. I hope he's not back. I mean, he's phenomenal. He's a great player, and you know, they you know, McCoy can shoot. If I'm saying his name right, I mean, he can shoot the heck out of it. And you know, then they have a lot of different pieces and parts, and so no matter what, like, you know, it's like, oh well, they're not as big as usual, or they're not as fast. I don't know what they aren't as usual, but they're still more athletic than we are. They're still bigger than we are. They're still faster than we are. So, you know, we're not naive, man. We have to show up and play really, really well. And if we do that, we have a chance. And if we don't do that, you know, then things won't go well. That's just the reality of this game.
And, you know, what specifically are you guys going to need to do to get the win tonight?
Well, we can't, you know, if Avion's able to get in the lane as many times as he did last year against us, if he's able to just continually penetrate and get inside, then that really hurts us. You know, and so we've tried to work on getting better at guarding and forcing guys certain directions and everything else. You know, and then for us, like, I know it's like, you know, if you say, okay, well, Martinsburg's not quite the same as usual. You know, but about the, you know, two minutes into the fourth quarter at Jefferson, who everybody says is this, you know, the team to beat. Well, you know, I mean, they're right in the game. It could have gone either way. They certainly, you know, Spring Mills is having a great year. They you know, they certainly had their opportunities to beat Spring Mills, and so, like, you know, you got to show up and you got to play. Everybody talks about, like, you guys do it, and I know it's your job, so it's different for you guys. But man, you don't play these games on paper. Yeah. You don't. You play them out on the court, and it's high school kids. And I think our local officials do the best they can to do a great job. Is how the game called, does it affect things? I mean, it does. Obviously, if there's lots of hand checks that are called, that affects things. If you're playing against, won't even make it Martinsburg, so it's not about this game. You're playing against Jefferson, and they don't call lots of hand checks, and they're chasing you everywhere and doing that, then that affects the game. So you have to adjust. You have to, you know, make in-game adjustments. Kids have to adjust on how the game's called. And no matter what, man, you have to show up and you have to compete. Although the rivalry has tamed down some in terms of what it used to be. You know, it used to be at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there were people in line to get into the game. So many different things and opportunities to do around here, and they can watch it on TV, which makes it a little bit better for them. So, but it's still a very intense rivalry. The kids are, a bunch of the kids are really, really good friends. And I told our kids, like, no matter what, during the game, you want to compete as hard as you can, but the kid on the other side who is your friend before the game, he better still be your friend after the game. And then no matter what, during the game, compete as hard as you can, just like you would against your brother.
All right, Coach, any other final thoughts?
Nothing. Just appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully we show up and play. And, best of luck to everybody around the Panhandle the rest of the way.
All right, thanks for the time. Best of luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you very much.
That was head coach for the Hedgesville Eagles, Kelly Church. Before that, you heard from Martinsburg head coach Dave Rogers. Those were your coaches' interviews that were brought to you by Rock's Local Markets all around the Eastern Panhandle, fast, fresh, friendly. And, Nick, that'll do it for this segment of the pregame show. We come back. We'll start talking a little bit more about this matchup, maybe get some keys to the game from you, Nick, and players to keep an ear out for. And we'll do that after this 2-minute break. You're tuned in to pregame coverage here for Martinsburg and Hedgesville on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Back in 2 minutes.
You've been in an accident. Why won't the insurance company pay? Because they're trying to save money at your expense. Call Mansion Ferretti for your free consultation. We have the experience to deal with the insurance company and get you the compensation you deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
Find that new Chevy truck or SUV you've been searching for right here at CMA Chevrolet of Martinsburg. With over 100 new Chevys in stock, you have options. We have the Silverados, Equinoxes, and more to meet your needs. And we are not selling over MSRP. Get power and fuel efficiency with the all-new Silverado 1500 LTD, space and savings on a new Equinox. And that's not all. Every new Chevrolet has a lifetime powertrain warranty. And did we mention we are not selling over MSRP? Find new roads at CMAChevroletofMartinsburg.com, where owners just care more.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Rock's Grab and Go is made fresh daily. Grab and Go, now available at Rock's Local Market. Rock's Grab and Go is made fresh daily. Grab and Go, now available at Rock's Local Market.
Welcome back to the Sunset Water countdown to tip-off. Spencer Pui joined alongside Nick Verzolini. Happy to have you with us. Cameramen this evening, John Alderton and Colin McLaughlin. Back in the studio, Dylan Bishop. We're happy to have you with us here about 6 minutes before lineups are announced and then the anthem, and then we roll into tip-off, Nick. But got a little bit extra time here, as usually we come on closer to the end of the JV game, but obviously that game literally went down to the wire and lasted past the time we thought. So check around the EPAC. It's all EPAC matchup tonight. Spring Mills hosts Musselman tonight. That's a contest that would see where Spring Mills goes. And we obviously know Musselman this year, they're not what we've seen the last couple of years, but they're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it does seem like Musselman's still kind of figuring things out. And it's a big challenge for them going up against Spring Mills, who gets Keyshawn Cheek back tonight, so they're at full strength. Definitely a big challenge for the Applemen, but that's a program and a team that you never want to completely count out in any given matchup. So while it's a inexperienced Musselman squad, I think they've shown some flashes of potential where you don't want to completely count them out tonight. But obviously Spring Mills, a top-level team in the EPAC, so definitely will be a tough challenge.
Will definitely be a tough challenge. The other contest tonight, the Jefferson County rivalry. Washington hosts Jefferson. We know all about Jefferson. You heard from Coach Church. He said Jefferson's the best. Everybody says Jefferson's the best team in the EPAC. Washington, they've played some tough competition. They're not They're not up to where I kind of thought they would be so far, but it'll be an interesting matchup there in Charlestown.
Yeah, it's a young Washington team. Jefferson has been the team in the EPAC the past 2 years, and until somebody knocks them off, it's hard to believe that anybody will. So Washington, this is a big rivalry on that side too. While it may not have the history of a Martinsburg-Hedgesville, it's still a pretty important rivalry. So if Washington could be competitive, that would be huge for their program. But Coach Hilliard and his guys definitely have a tough challenge against that Jefferson team. So just have to wait and see how that one plays out tonight for Jefferson. It just seems like nobody really has the shooting to keep up with them at this point. But we'll see if Hedgesville and Spring Mills end up doing that at some point this year.
Yeah, now we'll move on to the keys of the game. The key to your next vehicle is at the Heffley Motor Company, located at 993 Hedgesville Road in Martinsburg. You're local, we're local, so why not buy local? I ride with them, so you should too, Nick. First for the visitors and the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I think for the Dogs, the big question mark is the health of LaQuay Clark. So if he is not 100%, which we know he's not, he's dealing with an illness, but if he's not able to perform like he normally does, you're going to need to find some secondary scoring behind, of course, Avion Blackwood, because Clark's really been that guy, and at times he's been their best scorer. So I think that's really important. And then try to run Hedgesville off the three-point line. Like Jefferson, they have a lot of shooters. They have a lot of different scorers on this team. We saw Bulldogs and Wilkes, what they were able to do from three last year in this game. So it's really important to try to run those guys off the three-point line.
And then for Hedgesville?
I think for Hedgesville, you got to shoot better from the free throw line. As a team, you're shooting 62%, but you got to consider that Jackson Ruest is shooting 22 of 23. So you take him out of the equation, and this team's only shooting 54% from the line from everybody besides Ruest. This is a game that could be close down the stretch, so you're going to need to make free throws. And then I think just be patient offensively and try to get a lot of good looks like you did last time we saw this team. The offensive ball movement looked phenomenal. So if you can do that tonight against the better Martinsburg team than New Life Christian obviously was, then we could be saying by the end of the night Hedgesville is the team in the EPAC.
And now for the players to look out for, brought to you by Sutton & Janelle Attorneys at Law, a full-service law firm helping individuals, families, and businesses with all their legal needs. They're at 224 West King Street in Martinsburg or online at suttonandjanelle.com.
Well, I think for Martinsburg, it's got to be Whitby. It's got to be Achilles Whitby because, like I said, we don't know how healthy LaQuay Clark is. We know what Avion Blackwood's going to do. He's going to go out there and give his best effort, probably get close to 20 points on any given night. But it's possible you're going to need another score. So Whitby's shown some potential, shown some flashes. I think if he could have a good game, that would really help Martinsburg. And then for Hedgesville, we talked about him. He's getting the start. He's the former Martinsburg Bulldog. I got to go with Stephon Barclay.
That's a good one. And, you kind of say it all the time in all kinds of sports. A player goes back, faces a team, a revenge game maybe?
I would say
sorts.
Revenge because
not
obviously
revenge,
it's high school. And
it's the word.
Like,
it's just a wording. For
yeah,
it.
more like I guess
it's not a homecoming
I don't know
game.
how you'd say it, but it just you're playing against your former teammates. You're playing against your former coach. It adds a little bit of fuel to the fire for Barclay. He has great athleticism. He knows this team better than anybody else when it comes to Martinsburg. That's going to be on the court tonight for Hedgesville. So for me, I could see a big game from him.
We've got about 25 seconds left on this clock. We'll just keep it here, assuming they don't do the anthem first. I always get confused which schools do the anthem first, Nick.
Looks like Hedgesville's going to do lineups because they're getting in their kind of corner to dim the lights and do all that. So
we'll stay here for that, and we'll kind of get it started here with Martinsburg. Obviously, it's mostly the same lineup that we've seen, but starting lineups, they're brought to you by the Marius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or call 304-263-4343. start with Martinsburg. Obviously, number 0, Avion Blackwood, the senior guard. He leads the way throughout this team. He's led the way for this team throughout this start of this season and a lot of last year. Number 2, LaQuay Clark gets the start, and he's ill, or he was sick, so I don't know how much we'll see him tonight, but he's projected to get the start tonight. Number 3, Chase Shipley, the sophomore guard. Number 5, Achilles Whitby, the junior guard, or excuse me, sophomore forward. And number 35, the junior center, Caleb Linton. I believe they're going to go for they're going to hold a moment of silence for Greg Reed, as Martinsburg did last night. We'll take the PA.
Have a moment of silence for Mr. Greg Reed. Thank you.
And that, Nick, that's the respect factor for this community, because everybody knows he used to be the AD at Martinsburg.
Yeah, that's Hedgesville being a Class C team, and looks like we'll have the anthem now, Spencer. So
we will have the anthem. We'll step aside for a 2-minute break. We'll get you the rest of the starting lineups after this 2-minute break. You're tuned in to EPAC Hoops on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Back in 2 minutes.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve.
The Skinner Law Firm, SkinnerFirm.com. Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for Dollar Wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the Cornhole Tourney, Friday Night Lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for Steak Night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game. At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is Prevent, Promote, Protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
Welcome back to the Gilbert B. Miller Center here on the campus of Hedgesville High School, as we're on the countdown to tip-off, brought to you by Sunset Water Services, proudly installing water softeners in Martinsburg and all throughout Berkeley County since 1989. As we get ready to get now to starting lineups after the moment of silence for former Martinsburg AD Greg Reed, who passed away the other night after a heart attack. He was also working as the assistant director for the West Virginia Secondary Schools Athletic Association, but we'll get starting lineups here as they give them for Martinsburg. We'll go through Martinsburg's another time, as it will be number 0, the senior guard, Avion Blackwood. Number 2, the junior guard, LaQuay Clark. Number 3, the sophomore guard, Chase Shipley. Number 5, the sophomore forward, Achilles Whitby. And rounding out the lineup, number 35, the junior center, Caleb Linton. And we'll go to the Hedgesville lineup. It'll be number 1, the 6'3" senior, Stephon Barclay. Number 2, the 6'2" senior, Elijah King. Number 3, the 6'1" senior, Cam Wilkes. Number 10, the 6'4" senior, Jackson West. Number 11, the 6'1" senior, Christian Bolduc. And we'll just take this in, Nick. they come out here. Roll the carpets out for the Eagles. That is the lineup. We'll step aside to conclude things here for a 1-minute break. When we come back, we'll have tip-off. You're tuned in to EPAC Hoops on Talk Radio WRNR and 210. Back in 60 seconds.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
WVU Heart and Vascular Institute offers world-class heart care close to home. Our board-certified physicians are performing groundbreaking procedures using cutting-edge techniques, and that's why we're expanding our services to every corner of our region, so you don't have to travel far to receive the great specialty care you deserve close to home. Now accepting new patients at all locations in Martinsburg, Hagerstown, Shepherdstown, Winchester, and at our newest office in Ranson. WVU Heart and Vascular Institute, world-class heart care close to home.
Welcome back to the Gilbert B. Miller Center here. Tip-off underway. Hedgesville got it, and they had possession, and they will now retain possession. And that was the tip-off brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to HagerstownFord.com for more. It's Ruest. Ruest down low to Wilkes. Wilkes' shot is no good. Barclay's shot's no good as he gets the rebound, and it's good. First shot of the game brought to you by the Berkeley County Health Department. Prevent, promote, protect at 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-5131. And it's Barclay with the first points of the game.
Yeah, I mean, playing his former team, like we said, it's a good start for Stephon.
And a layup is up and no good by Linton. Going back the other way now, it's Hedgesville. That's Wilkes. Wilkes now to Barclay. He'll think about dribble driving in, passes over to Ruest. Ruest now to King. King tried to dribble drive through the lane, but he's fouled.
Well, Jackson Ruest got the haircut. Doesn't he look like the same guy out there?
He does not, Nick. But
I asked him, why did he get rid of the locks?
He did have some locks. We'll say that.
Tyson Bajan style.
And the shot up is no good right there. It'll be rebounded by Martinsburg and Linton. Coming back the other way now is Blackwood. Blackwood now, he'll dribble drive through the lane. He'll put up the layup. That's no good. Off the mark, no good. Rebounded by Wilkes. Wilkes now takes it down court. Wilkes to the lane, and he lays that one up and no good. Rebounded by Linton. Another rebound for Linton.
Is all over the glass early on. Cam Wilkes, had a good drive to the hole there. Good move, but couldn't finish.
Now it's Blackwood. Blackwood to the top of the key. He passes over to Clark. His three's off the mark, no good. Going back the other way now, it's Hedgesville. That's Bulldogs. Bulldogs to Ruest. Ruest tried to pass the Barclay. Ball's taken away by Martinsburg. That is Chase Shipley. He'll go through the lane, and his shot's blocked by Ruest. And, when you're kind of glancing up and down from your scorer sheet from what you know of Jackson Ruest, he does kind of look unrecognizable for a second.
Yeah, great block, though, by the big guy.
And that Shipley through the lane is no good. Rebounded by Ruest.
Slow start for both these teams. In particular, Martinsburg hasn't really gotten anything close to falling.
Yeah, 2-0 is the score. 5:45 left in the first quarter. Swung now over to Wilkes. Wilkes now will dribble drive through the lane, try to put it up, no good. And that is Shipley going back the other way. He can't handle it to Barclay. Barclay now to Ruest. He lays that one up, and in 4-0 Hedgesville. And that's the Clay Clark shot. That's no good from just inside the free throw line. And is that a foul or a timeout already?
Got a foul. Reach in there. Yeah. Christian Bolduc, good strong hands with the basketball. And it's going to go on Whitby as his first.
Wilkes will now take it past the timeline. Fake it around now. Will go to Barclay. Barclay has a clear lane to the clear pass to the lane. He goes straight through. He lays that one up and in. 6-0. He's up to his average on the season 4. Avion Blackwood's shot's no good. Rebounded there by King.
I thought Stefan was going to send us home with a dunk.
I thought so too. And that's King. He takes it to the lane, through the lane, and in with the harm, hooping the harm. He's going to the line.
I mean, Elijah King, he's been the leading scorer for Hedgesville this year, and what a job he's done.
Under 4:50 left here, and a timeout called. We'll take one with him. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're tuned in to EPAC Hoops on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
Mountaineer Grill and Pub offers many daily specials, including Trivia Night Monday, Karaoke Tuesday, Steak Night Wednesday and Sunday, Thursday night Boneless Wing Night, and on Friday and Saturday nights, there'll be a DJ and or karaoke. And remember, Monday through Friday, happy hour, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., $2 domestic bottles and $2.50 domestic drafts.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
B. Miller Center, an 8-0 lead for the Hedgesville Eagles here. First quarter brought to you on TV 10 by Brown Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields & Sons, family-owned full-service funeral home, proudly serving the area since 1880. Also on TV 10 by CMA's Honda of Winchester, located at 3985 Valley Pike. CMA moving lives forward. Elijah King at the line.
Yeah, as I was saying, he leads the team in scoring right now at around 13 points per game. So
it's 28 of 44 at the line, 63.6%.
Yeah, we talked about free throws in the pregame.
And he misses that one, but Barclay skies up for the board. He passes that back out to Wilkes, to Ruest. Now King for 3. That one's off the mark, no good. There's an off-ball foul. It'll be Martinsburg possession.
All right, so we'll see how Martinsburg can respond here out of the timeout. Just haven't really gotten any great looks early on. Great defense by Hedgesville so far.
Shipley has it now. He passes to Clark. Clark to Blackwood at the top of the key. Passes back to Shipley now. Swings it to Blackwood. Blackwood jumper in just inside. That's no good. Linton had the ball popped out of his hands. Going back the other way now. That's Cam Wilkes. Remember Cam Wilkes from last year in the first game these two teams had. He had a 3 barrage. Now back to King. King dribble drive through the lane. Passes it back now to Wilkes. Wilkes' shot is no good. He gets his own rebound. Now he pops from 3. That one's no good. That's King with the board. Over to Ruest. Now Barclay. Barclay dribbles in the lane. Back to Wilkes. Wilkes now through the lane. Now in the corner for King. Spot up 3, no good. Rebounded by Blackwood.
Too many offensive rebounds so far for Hedgesville early in the game. Martinsburg getting killed on the glass. Kind of been a trend for them all year.
Clay Clark now. Trying to find somewhere to go. He'll put up the shot, and that's straight through. First points of the game for the Bulldogs comes with 3:24 left in the first quarter. Cam Wilkes with the ball.
Yeah, it takes that long, but they're only down 8-2.
Yeah. Down low to King. Or excuse me, that's Bolduc. Bolduc's shot's no good. Rebounded by Blackwood. Blackwood going the other way, now up to Shipley. Shipley through the lane, reverse layup, no good. King skies up for the board. Over to Wilkes. Wilkes now past half court. He passes it to King. King over to Ruest. Ruest will take it to the lane. He'll lay that one up and in. Jackson Ruest now with 4 on the night. 10-2 lead, 2:35 left in the first quarter.
Ruess might be the most underrated player in the EPAC. Just really solid at a lot of different things. Great rebounder for this team. You see his ability to dribble drive. Not a three-point threat usually, but he's only missed one free throw. Just really solid player.
Down low to Clark. Clark's layup is up, no good. Rebounded, pushed around forward, fought forward, grabbed by Barclay. Again, Stephon Barclay played last year for the Bulldogs, now is transferred over to Hedgesville. Ball now to Wilkes. Wilkes thinks about it, gets a screen from Ruess. Now he's going to pop a three. That one's off the mark, no good. Ruess gets the board. Tries to find somewhere to go with it. That ball off the hands, deflected by Shipley.
Yeah, Hedgesville's going to start making these open threes.
Martinsburg has some subs coming in. One of them, Rashad Reed, and the other, Kayvon Adams. Rashad Reed, I believe he's only played now, this is his second ball game. He played in the Jefferson game, unless he came in on Tuesday. Don't know that for sure.
I don't think he did, now that I think about it, but it's his third game with the team.
Yes.
So, you know, a guy that brings energy at the very least, and I think Martinsburg needs that right now.
T. Wilmer in for the Eagles, down low to Wilkes. His shot is up and good. Wilkes into the scoring column. Makes it 12-2. 1:30 left in the first quarter. Shazier Baker also checks in for Martinsburg. Ball down to Clark. Clark's jumper is good. Straight through. 12-4. LeClay Clark with all 4 points for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and Rashad Reed just set up as a brick wall. I believe Tay Wilmer ran into him.
Down low to Ruess. He lays that one off the glass and in. Ruess now with 6 points. He averages 8.1.
But, I mean, a screen from Rashad Reed, nobody wants to take that.
They don't.
He did not move, I don't think.
We got a foul coming.
I thought that was a solid screen.
Was that on Reed?
Yeah, they called it on Reed. I thought he was set. I mean, maybe they're saying he leaned with his shoulder, could have been what they called there. But usually, it definitely wasn't a moving screen, so I'm guessing that's what they had there was maybe a shoulder lean from Reed.
Inbounded to Wilkes. Wilkes now gets it past the timeline, guarded by Shipley. Shipley now to Wilmer. Down to King. King's shot is, thought it was rejected, but they're going to call the foul there. Believe it's on Shazier Baker.
Yeah, good block by Baker. Must have got him with the body there, but you know, you get into a good positioning, you like the effort, but now already 5 fouls in this first quarter against the Bulldogs. They have more fouls than points.
First shot is up and good from King. Quincy Pinsnagel checks in for the first time tonight. And then Bolduc checks out with Barclay checking back into the ball game. 15-4 is the score, under 38 seconds left in the first quarter. King's second shot's no good. Rashad Reed skies up for the board. Over to Shipley. Shipley now past the timeline. Going to set up the offense. Trying to find somewhere to go with it here. 25 and counting left in this quarter. Over now to Clark. Clark's shot is no good. Get a foul call again.
All right, that's going to get against Hedgesville, so against Tay Wilmer.
Second team foul, first personal. Coming into the ball game is Damon Cook. Stepping out is Jackson Ruest. Dogs trying to inbound it. Baker now over in the corner to Adams. Adams 3 is up. Or no, is that a 2? They're going to call that a 2. Adams 2 is up and good. Under 2 seconds now to 1. Shot coming by Wilkes. Are they going to call the foul there to end the... That was a 2. They're calling the foul though, right, Nick?
It appears so. So
does the quarter end? it
ends
end
in
yet.
terms of
it ends everybody on the floor.
Yeah, it ends in terms of who's going to be on the floor, but they will shoot these 2 free throws.
That was on Shazier Baker, I believe, his second, right? Yeah.
But overall, both teams are kind of sloppy right now.
First shot coming from Wilkes is up and good.
Hedgesville's just gotten so many extra opportunities with the rebounds that it's kind of hurt Martinsburg so far.
Second shot from Wilkes is good at the end of the first quarter. It's Hedgesville 17, Martinsburg 6. You're tuned in to EPAC Hoops on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Back in 60 seconds.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
Welcome back to the Gilbert B. Miller Center. Hedgesville on top of Martinsburg in this EPAC rivalry game, 17-6 as we start the second quarter. Brought to you on TV 10 by Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer. Cabinets and designer bedding. It's at 360 Ackles and Wade, Martinsburg. Go to Orsinis.com. Martinsburg spoils their own possession there with a turnover. Ruest got it now over to Wilkes, and Wilkes with the steps call. Kind of dragged that foot.
Yeah, I was going to say that, Martinsburg coming out of the start of the quarter, you'd like to see a better possession, but since Hedgesville turned it right back over, it doesn't really matter too much.
Over in the corner now to Adams. Adams now to Shipley. Shipley to Clark. Clark in with the shot, no good. Rebounded by Ruest. Barclay now has it. Over to Ruest, now to Wilkes. Wilkes at the top of the key, trying to set things up just outside the far H on the logo to Ruest. Ruest now in the corner. Passes it now to Wilkes. Wilkes step back 3. That one's in and out, no good. Rebounded by Clark. Clark now to Shipley. Shipley going to slow things down here. Content to get the offense set up. He'll pass it now over to Blackwood for 3, and that one's through. Martinsburg now with 9. 17-9's the score here into the second quarter. 6:45 left.
Yeah, if you can get Avion going, you can be right in this game, I think, for Martinsburg.
And down low for Ruest, but they're going to get the foul on Shipley. That's his second.
This has been kind of a trend now for Martinsburg early in the year. Jackson Ruest, while he's not necessarily like your prototypical center, he plays like a 5. But he can also drive to the rim, and Martinsburg's just had issues with containing post players that are physical.
First shot
rare miss
from Ruest is no good.
Only his second free throw missed all season.
Wow, that is.
And it's not like he doesn't take a ton of them.
Yeah.
He's 23 of 24 heading in.
Now 23 of 25 goes. Second one, that one's a miss as well. It's going to be a lane violation on Hedgesville. Second quarter also brought to you on TV 10 by Skinner Law Firm. Injury and consumer rights lawyers. Call 304-245-6613. Go to skinnerfirm.com. Inbounded now to Blackwood. 6:30 left in the first half. You can hear the Hedgesville student section loud and clear right now. Barclay now will dribble drive through the lane. He loses possession, but he puts that one up. No good. Rebounded by Barclay. Barclay on Blackwood.
Avion's
weird to say.
That is weird. But Avian's got to try to find a teammate there. He had 3 defenders crash down on him, and somebody had to be open.
That's Bolduc. Now over to Barclay. Barclay now to Ruiz to the top of the key. He'll dribble, drive through the lane, lay that one up, and in. He's now got 8 points on the night. So just about his average. 19-10 to score, 5:42 left in the first half.
Yeah, somebody's got to find a way to slow down Ruiz.
Now over to Blackwood. Blackwood at the top of the key, hearing the Boo Birds from the Hedgesville student section. Now over to Adams. To Robinson. To Shipley. Now back to Adams. He'll spot up for the 3, no good. And the ball's out of bounds off Bolduc. I think Bolduc was looking for an over-the-back foul there.
Yeah, potentially. I didn't notice necessarily, but I thought it was solid play by the Bulldogs. We'll see what Martinsburg's got here on this inbound.
Inbound, and now there's Baker. Baker tried to get to Adams. He had to find it as it bounced off his hands. Now to Blackwood. Blackwood really hearing it from these Hedgesville fans tonight.
Yeah, they knew he's their best player.
Deep 3 on the way from Whitby. That's no good. Rebounded by Robinson. His putback jumper is good. Makes it 19-12.
Guys off the bench getting in the scoring column for Martinsburg. Robinson and Adams go for some baskets. If the Dogs can get more of that, they can get their way back into the game.
And that's Wilkes. Dribble drive through the lane. He's fouled. Student section for Hedgesville, pretty impressive tonight. Kind of an interesting student section for Martinsburg.
Yeah, I mean, they've filled up decently for a road game. Crowd is pretty much at capacity. Not quite, but we got a good crowd here for a Friday night EPAC game. And not as intense so far as that Spring Mills game, but the game hasn't got into the later stages yet.
Wilkes at the line. He makes the first one in the 1-and-1. He's now 3 for 3 on the day in free throws.
Yeah, doing a nice job from the line is Cam Wilkes. So, good shooter. We've seen it from the floor.
Second shot is up and straight through. He's got 6 on the night. Tay Wilmer checks in.
We'll check out, and that's the thing. Hedgesville has so many guys that you can afford to take a guy like Cam Wilkes out of the game and let Wilmer or Damon Cook play some minutes, and there's not too much of a drop-off.
Deep 3 on the way from Blackwood. That rolls around and out. And I thought that was in from our perspective, but it just rolled once again and came back out. But there's a foul on Hedgesville.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to fall.
Time on Tay Wilmer.
But I think so far, Hedgesville defense, give them an A+ on what they've done to contain Avion Blackwood. He had 32 against Jefferson the other night, and a lot of that was him getting into the lane. Hedgesville has not let him get into the lane, and when he has, there's been 2-3 defenders right in his face.
Time stoppage here. Now we'll resume play. Inbound to Baker. Baker now to Adams. It's taken away by Barclay. He can't handle, but he lays that one up. No good, and there'll be a foul on Blackwood.
Yeah, we're already at 9 fouls against the Bulldogs. So, I talked about free throws being a big factor for Hedgesville. They didn't have a great team percentage. But if you keep getting these opportunities, it doesn't matter really what your percentage is.
Yeah.
Eventually you're going to take advantage of those.
First shot up from Barclay. That one rolls out of it. Bounces up and no good. Barclay 4 points so far on the night. Second shot coming here. That one is up and good. 5 points now for Barclay. That's Blackwood. He passes now over to Robinson. Now to Whitby. Whitby now gets the screen, passes it back to Blackwood. Blackwood now back to Whitby, and he travels.
Yeah, he hesitated on what he wanted to do, and that led to the travel. Another thing that stood out to me is Hedgesville hasn't really let Martinsburg get any transition, and the Eagles have gotten a decent amount of looks in transition, which has led to so many of these fouls.
10-point ball game here. Hedgesville in the lead 22-12, 3:55 and counting left in this half. Barclay to the rack. That one's good. Now up to 7 points on the evening. 24-12. They've doubled up the Dogs. Blackwood lays that one up and in. I believe he's now up to 5.
Yeah, one of those rare transition opportunities for Martinsburg.
Ball batted in the air by Clark. Able to get it was Wilmer. Now dribble driving through the lane is Ruest. His shot's no good. Tipped up by Barclay, no good. That's Whippy with the rebound. And a 3 coming from Clark. That one's off the mark, no good. Thought he was fouled. Nick, you thought he was fouled.
It didn't look like to me that Wilmer let him land cleanly.
And dribble going through the lane is King. That shot is no good. Blackwood in transition now. Will take through the lane, take the shot, and that one goes in. Now up to 7 points is Avion Blackwood.
But I will say I didn't necessarily love the shot from LaQuay Clark, but he has the ability to hit those.
That's Wilmer. He passes now down low to Barclay, and that is good. Barclay now with 9 points. Avion Blackwood at the top of the key trying to set up the offense. Into Linton. Linton now hands it off to Robinson. His shot is up, no good. Linton with the board. He puts that one up and off the glass, no good. Robinson comes in to try to clean it up, no good. Ruest with the board. Down low now to King. King to Gainey. His shot's no good. Running back the other way are the Bulldogs. 26-16. Hedgesville on top. Blackwood to the rack. No good. Out of bounds off the Eagles.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Stephon Barclay has taken the assignment of Avion Blackwood. Barclay a longer guard. Definitely has made it tough on Avion. He started to find his shot a little bit in this second quarter. But those two really going at it like they did in the field house in practice.
That they did. A 3 right there from LaQuay Clark. He's now up to 7 points as well. 26-19, 1:48 left in the first half. That's T. Wilmer, guarded by Clark. Clark now to Barclay. Barclay will dribble drive through the lane. He'll do a backwards pass. That is T. Wilmer, and his shot is up and good. That's a 3, makes it 29-19.
And again, Wilmer's a guy that comes off the bench occasionally.
Shot by Martinsburg, no good. Rebounded by Ruest, and Ruest causes a foul.
And he's just really solid. He's a good shooter, finds his teammates well.
And Ruest is a guy that is a 3-sport athlete that could go to college and play any of the 3 at any level of college athletics.
Potentially, yeah, and going to the line here. So he missed 2 of them earlier, which was only 2 of his 3 misses on the year.
So his first shot coming here. That is up and no good. Nick, you're jinxing him up here.
I really think I might be, and I apologize to Jackson and the entire Ruest family for. I'm just not going to mention his free throw shooting anymore.
Second shot is up and good.
There we go.
Now up to 9 points.
I took the time to do this whole calculation on how the team shoots way worse than he has from the line, and then he struggles from the line early on, but I'm sure he'll get it back. He's played well, though, in other areas.
Barclay now over to Robinson. Robinson down to Whitby. Whitby gets a screen from Reed. Now to LaQuay Clark. Clark back to Blackwood. Deep from 3. That one's off the mark. No good. Rebounded by Gainey. Now to Wilkes. Wilkes dribble drives to the lane. Spin around shot. That's no good. Rebounded there by Blackwood. Blackwood has the ball kicked away by Wilmer. 30-19 is the score. 38.8 seconds left in this first half, Nick.
Yeah, and Martinsburg definitely needs a bucket before halftime. We'll see if they maybe try to force the tempo to get 2 opportunities. Obviously no shot clock, though.
Robinson gets the screen from Reed. Back to Blackwood. Blackwood will dribble drive through the lane, lay that one up, and that one comes off. Reed with the rebound, and Reed will go to the line. He's fouled on his shot.
Great move.
17.6 seconds left.
Great move from Avion Blackwood. I thought it was going to go. He somehow split 2 defenders. I like the energy Rashad Reed has brought tonight. At the very least, he's brought some toughness.
His first shot's off the mark, no good.
So I think Martinsburg really needs right now. They're kind of allowing a lot of easy drives to the rim at times. And a guy like Reed, he's going to at least bring some intensity.
Damon Cook checks in for Barclay. Second shot from Reed is in and out, no good. 14 seconds and counting now as Wilkes will have it for the last shot of the first half. They're up 30-19 are the Eagles. Guarded at the top of the key by Blackwood. He'll dribble drive through the lane and lay that one up, no good. Rashad Reed with the rebound, and that'll be the first half. Hedgesville on top 30-19. We'll head to halftime. We'll be back for the halftime show in 2 minutes. You're tuned into EPAC Hoops on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Hello, this is Mark Sutton of the Sutton & Janelle Law Firm. The right attorney can make all the difference in your case. That's why you should call Sutton & Janelle. We have been serving clients in West Virginia and Maryland since 1999 in the areas of family law, DUI, criminal defense, and personal injury. Sutton & Janelle works hard to obtain a favorable outcome for you at a reasonable rate with affordable payment options. Sutton & Janelle values your rights and is passionate about your success. Contact us today at suttonandjanelle.com.
If you or someone you know suffers from the disease of addiction, help is available from the Berkeley County Quick Response Team with peer recovery coaches and support promptly to the homes of those who've recently experienced an overdose. This collective effort towards recovery brings resources and services to the community, including naloxone and treatment options. Call 304-267-1313 or visit the Berkeley County Recovery Resource Center, 400 West Stevens Street, Martinsburg. The Berkeley County Quick Response Team is funded through a DHHR grant with the Berkeley Morgan County Health Department.
Hi, I'm Annette McDonald, and I am the designer at Orsini's in Martinsburg, West Virginia. We welcome you into our store to show you a complete line of what we do here. We design your cabinetry, quartz countertops, granite countertops, hardware, anything for the full remodel of your kitchen and your home needs. We also do bathrooms, and we have flooring available too. We make sure that your project with Orsini's is the best in the market. Welcome to Orsini's.
Orsini's.com. To the Gilbert B. Miller Center at halftime. Hedgesville on top 30-19. The halftime show brought to you by the Mansion Freddie Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to WVJusticeLawyers.com and make a 30-19 lead for the Hedgesville Eagles. And it seems like, they're out to that 8-2 lead early, and it seems like they've done, for the most part, what they've wanted to do, but what's holding them back is really their miscues three-point shooting-wise.
Yeah, Martinsburg's had some issues here defensively, had some issues shooting the basketball, fouling way too much, not really allowing easy baskets and too many drives to the rim. So there's a lot of things the Bulldogs could clean up. For Hedgesville, overall it's been a pretty good half, I think. You didn't shoot the ball great in the first quarter, but second quarter was a little bit better. You've done a good job of getting to the line, attacking the basket. You only made 1 3 in the first half, but overall I think there's a lot of positives for the Eagles. And obviously you have an 11-point lead. So
you got the numbers quickly?
Yeah, sure.
Stephon Barclay leading the way for Hedgesville with 9 to go along with Jackson Ruesk. Elijah King with 3, Cam Wilkes with 6, 3 for Tay Wilmer. And then on the Martinsburg side, I'm missing a point somewhere, but Avion Blackwood has 7, LeClay Clark has 7, 2 for Robinson and 2 for Adams. So that's our score here at the half, 30-19.
All right, and with that, we'll step aside for a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, you'll hear Dylan Bishop back in the studio for the halftime scoreboard update. You're tuned in to EPAC Hoops on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10. We'll be back with Dylan Bishop after this 2-minute break.
Hi, it's Talk Radio WRNR and TV10 Spencer Dupuis. When I got into a car accident and needed to get another vehicle, I wanted to go somewhere I could trust. So I went to the Heffley Motor Company at 993 Hedgesville Road. As a first-time car buyer, I really didn't know what to expect. But at Heffley, they treated me like family. Every step in the process was seamless. Not only did they give me a great deal, but they also helped me secure an amazing interest rate. Now I know firsthand why Heffley has such a great reputation in this community.
I ride with Heffley Motor Company, so you should too.
Insurance companies like to play games. They say they're on your side, but they aren't. We have a team that can handle any curveball they throw. At Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, you get a dedicated lawyer, and every case gets a team effort. So you get nearly 150 combined years of experience going to bat for you. And we like to win. Join the team that takes your personal injury case seriously. Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson. We play hardball.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Providing reliable protection since 1877, we are Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies. From small beginnings and over a century later, we maintain our dedication to our policyholders to provide dependable insurance protection and excellent customer service. Protecting everything from your home to your business has never been easier. Our team is here to ensure that you, your family, and your assets are taken care of. We enjoy giving back and doing our part to keep Martinsburg a great place to be.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back and forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Thinking about making that big move but don't know where to start? Then call Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group. Chris is a Martinsburg High School graduate and knows the local market, and he's proven it for the past 15 years at Milestone Real Estate Group. Looking to sell or buy a home? Phone 304-579-7349. That's 304-579-7349. Or go to callchrisross.com. Making milestones is our business.
Welcome back to the Gilbert B. Miller Center here on the campus of Hedgesville High School. Spencer Bunick, Rosalini, happy to have you with us. Cameramen this evening, John Alderson, Colin McLaughlin back in the studio, Dylan Bishop. So get ready to start the second half. Brought to you on the third quarter is brought to you on TV 10 by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to HagerstownFord.com. Also on TV 10 by Smallwood Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Or call 304-263-3361. Nick, what do you think Martinsburg's got to do to get back? They're not out of this game, but down 11 here.
I mean, we touched on some of the things at halftime, just kind of taking too many difficult shots, really try to work the ball inside more. But it was a better second quarter. The second quarter was tied at 13 between these two teams, according to the scoreboard, even though you and I, Spencer, believe that that score might be off based on our memory there. But according to the scoreboard, it was a 13-13 second quarter. So
Hedgesville starts with possession here. Back to Ruwest from three. That one's off the mark, no good. Barclay puts it back up and lays that one in. Now he's in the double digits with 11.
Yeah, leading all scorers here tonight is Stephon Barclay. So
Shipley, now to Clark. Clark will dribble drive through the lane, pass back to Linton. Linton now back to Shipley from three. Clark from three, off the mark, no good. It will go out of play. It will be Hedgesville basketball. 7:22 left in this third quarter. 32-19 is the score. Wilkes brings it up to half court, guarded by Blackwood. Blackwood kind of gets down in there. Now over to Ruwest. Ruwest back to Barclay from three. Off the mark, no good. Rebounded by Whitby. Whitby now to Blackwood. Blackwood jumper is no good, just inside the arc. Rebounded by Bolduc. Bolduc now to King. Elijah King's three is no good. He gets his own rebound, but he can't secure it. Shipley with it going back the other way. Whitby just inside the three-point arc, no good. Rebounded by Barclay. Barclay now back to King.
Again, these are tough, long twos for the Bulldogs. And a tough contested three from Clark. Those are the shots you got in to start the second half.
Down low to Wilkes. He'll come back from three, and he'll pop the shot. That one's off the mark, no good. Rebounded by Ruwest. Puts that one in, and he's now got 11 as well. 3 points over his average of 8. Makes it 34-19, 6:06 left in the third quarter. Ball's out of play as Barclay touches it. Will remain Martinsburg possession.
Yeah, Rashad Reed's. It's not loaded me for some reason. I think I might got turned down there slightly. But for Martinsburg, you know, you allow a wide open three because you left the ball, and then nobody gets a backside rebound. So Reed's coming in because, like we said earlier, I mean, he's going to give you energy and effort at the very least from Martinsburg. And I mean, you got to box out, you got to grab that rebound.
Rashad Reed down low to Clark. He tries to reverse lay it in, no good.
And
Ruiz now with the board.
Pretty crafty pass from the big man.
Ruiz now to Bolduc. Bolduc dribble drives to the lane, lays that one up and through. Christian Bolduc just getting into the scoring column here in the second half. And a timeout's been taken. 5:33 left in the third. We'll take one with them. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're tuning to EPAC Hoops. Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 back in 30.
Hello, this is Mark Sutton of the Sutton & Janelle Law Firm. The right attorney can make all the difference in your case. That's why you should call Sutton & Janelle. We have been serving clients in West Virginia and Maryland since 1999 in the areas of family law, DUI, criminal defense, and personal injury. Sutton & Janelle works hard to obtain a favorable outcome for you at a reasonable rate with affordable payment options. Sutton & Janelle values your rights and is passionate about your success. Contact us today at suttonandjanelle.com.
The Gilbert B. Miller Center, Hedgesville on top, 36-19, 5:33 left in the third quarter. And Nick, what does Martinsburg got to do here a little bit more? It seems like they've come out, obviously not scored any, and given up 6 points so far.
I mean, the defense hasn't really been there. The offense obviously hasn't been there when you got 19 points so about 5.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. So, yeah, I think it starts with defense. Defense can lead to easy offense. You got to try to stop the ball. You know, not let them get into the lane so much. And offensively, I mean, Hedgesville's really slowing you down from getting into the lane. So give credit to the Eagles.
Blackwood now at the top of the key. Gets a screen from Reed. Now over to Robinson. Ball nearly taken away by Barclay, but that's out of bounds. Remains Martinsburg possession.
Yeah, Stephon Barclay's played great tonight so
He's been
far.
all over Blackwood.
Yeah, and it's a very tough matchup for Avion. I mean, Avion's a great player, but Stephon's longer. You know, just provides a tough defender.
Ball down low to Robinson. That's no good. Rebounded by Hedgesville. That's Wilkes. Wilkes dribble drives to the lane, tries to pass it to Barclay. No good.
Martinsburg got lucky there because nobody guarded Cam Wilkes until he got into the paint. And just kind of an errant pass. Couldn't quite get it into Barkley's hands.
Now that's Shipley. Shipley trying to set things up here. Guarded by King. Gets the screen. Now passes back to Shipley. Thinks about the three. Just comes inside. And that's no good. But he's fouled.
Yeah, they called a foul there. So
King did not think he fouled him.
Only the second trip to the line here tonight for Martinsburg. There's still two misses from Rashad Reed in the first half to end the first half, really.
First shot from Shipley is up and good.
He's just now getting into the scoring column. So, I mean, Stephon Avion and LeQuay have done their thing with scoring at times, but
second one is through. First 2 points of the half, 36-21, 4:35 left in the third.
You expect more scoring from Chase Shipley at times. He just hasn't really been getting it going. I mean, Hedgesville's defense has been pretty tough, so.
Wilkes now to King, that's Bolduc. Bolduc will dribble drive through the lane, pass to Ruiz. Ruiz decides that he's going to pass it to Barclay. Faked about 3 passes. Now over to Wilkes, gets the screen from Ruiz. Ruiz spins off the screen, but it's a jump shot coming from Wilkes, no good. Rebounded by Shipley. Shipley going the other way now, and he has his pocket picked by Barclay, but it's going to be a reach-in foul.
And I think if you're Martinsburg and you would have known that Elijah King, Cam Wilkes, and Christian Bolduc combined for just 11 points, you'd think you'd be winning the game.
Yeah. Blackwood now passes to Shipley.
But that's
calling
really
out signals is Marcellus Basie on the bench.
I mean, besides the experience factor, that's really the big difference between a team like Hedgesville and a team like Martinsburg, is they just have more scoring to rely on. You know, Clark and Blackwood are the main scorers from the Dogs, and they've been held in check to just 14.
Shipley now at the top of the key. A shot coming from Whitby. That's no good. Turnaround from the free throw line. Rebounded by Wilkes. Wilkes going down the other way. He'll pass it to King. Now in the corner to Bolduc. He thinks about the three, fakes it. Now to Wilkes from three. That's off the mark. No good. And Ruiz fighting for the rebound with Reed, but it's now got by Shipley. Now to Blackwood. Now to Robinson. Now to Shipley. Shipley at the top of the key. 3:02 left in the third quarter. 36-21 is the score. Pop the three from Shipley. That's no good. Rebounded by Wilkes. Wilkes going back the other way in transition. He's going to fake the pass down low to Barclay and then back out to Bolduc. Bolduc will go around a defender and try to lay that one up and in. No good. Batted back out now to Wilkes. Wilkes going to reset up the offense here to King. King will dribble drive through the lane, and he's fouled by Whitby.
Yeah, only the first foul here of Martinsburg in the second half after getting into the double bonus relatively quickly in that first half.
Kayvon Adams and Shazier Baker checking in. Reed and Whitby checking out. Inbounded now to Bolduc. Thinks about the three. Steps in for a two, and that's straight through. Christian Bolduc now 4 points all in this second half, all in this third quarter. A spot up three from Robinson, no good. Rebounded by Barclay. Barclay slips, but able to keep his dribble going and able to find his teammate in Wilkes there. They got to get it past the timeline here, and they do. Wilkes trying to set up the offense down low to King. King can't control it. That's Shipley. Shipley down to Baker. Baker lays that one up and in. Shazier Baker now into the scoring column for the first time tonight. 1:55 left in the third quarter, 38-23. And a step back three from Wilkes is no good. Rebounded by Blackwood. Blackwood going to take it to the floor, going to take it to the lane. Steps back from the charity stripe, and that one is through. 25-38's the score. Blackwood now up to 9 points. Down low ball pass taken away by Robinson. Now to Shipley. Shipley's got Ruest, and he's going to lay that one up. No good, but he's fouled by Ruest. It's Ruest's first foul of the night, I believe.
Yeah, so the Dogs are still in this game, despite really not playing great on either end so far tonight. Hedgesville just hasn't shot the ball well at all.
Shipley at the line. He misses the first one as it rolls out. T. Wilmer checking in with Wilkes checking out.
But the thing is Hedgesville's been able to create so many second chance opportunities for themselves.
Second shot is no good. Rebounded by Wilmer, who just checked in, as I mentioned. Over to Bolduc. Bolduc now down to Barclay. Barclay's got the lane. He'll dribble drive in, lay that one up off the glass and in. Barclay now with 13 points on the evening to lead all scorers. Shipley now at the top of the key. Comes back out to just to the left of the Block H logo. That's Robinson now. Over to Baker. Baker fakes to Blackwood, now passes to Adams. Adams down low to Baker, back to Blackwood. He'll get the screen from Baker, and he'll dribble drive through the lane, lay that one up, no good. He's fouled going up, though. Jackson West now with 2 fouls out of nowhere.
Yeah, late in the third quarter, so definitely not.
No, but just
of
they
too
just
much
came.
concern here. Yeah, back to
back
pretty much.
Blackwood at the line. First shot is up and no good.
Martinsburg 2 for 5 right now from the line.
40-25 is the score. 39.8 left in the third. Blackwood's second shot is up and rolls out. No good. Ruess with the board. There's another foul here, though. I think it'll be on Martinsburg's Baker. Ruess now will inbound it to King. 36 and counting left in this third quarter. And coming down the lane, he'll shoot that one, and that's through. He lost his defender who tried to pickpocket the ball, and that didn't help him out there as there was no defender on him until he got to the lane. 42-35 is the score. Under 15 now left in this third quarter. That's Shipley. He'll dribble drive to the rack. His shot is blocked by Ruess. Ruess now has it under 10 to go. Over to T. Wilmer. Now to King. King down low to Barclay. Barclay keeps it. He's got 2 and 1. The shot's no good. Rebounded by Clark, and that shot's no good to end the quarter. 42-35, 42-25 is the score with Hedgesville on top. We'll be back to start the fourth quarter. After this 2-minute break, you're tuned in to Sports Mix on Talk. You're tuned in to EPAC Hoops on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
You've been in an accident. Why won't the insurance company pay? Because they're trying to save money at your expense. Call Mansion Ferretti for your free consultation. We have the experience to deal with the insurance company and get you the compensation you deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
Welcome back to the Gilbert B. Miller Center here on the campus of Hedgesville High School. Hedgesville on top of Martinsburg, 42-25 as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Brought to you on TV 10 by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons also on TV, presented on TV 10 by WVU Medicine, Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, leading healthcare here and everywhere. So we get this fourth quarter started. It'll be Martinsburg basketball. Whitby inbounds it to Bunny. Kyrie Bunny gets some action from JV. He has the ball now in the corner. Now Whitby's spot up three. That's good. He's in the scoring column tonight for the first time, 42-28. Martinsburg not out of it. It's just a 14-point ball game.
Yeah, definitely not out of it. It's going to take a big quarter, though.
Barclay with another 2. He's got 15 so far. Down low, the ball rejected. I think that was King there. No, that was Ruess. Going back the other way now, 44-28. Barclay now. Over to King. King gets fouled by Bunny with the push.
Yeah, I mean, you see Bunny in the game, so Coach Rogers mainly going with, young guys besides Avion Blackwood right now. And guys that necessarily haven't gotten a ton of playing time.
Down low, ball nearly taken away, but Bolduc has it. He goes to the rack, no good. He gets his own board. Passes over to King. King's shot is up and good. Elijah King now with 7 points on the night.
It's kind of a quick lineup on the floor for Martinsburg. Probably try to create some turnovers.
Blackwood through the lane. That one rims around and no good. Rebounded by Ruess. Ruess has got to have a double-double at this point, I feel like.
Seems like every time I watch him play.
Yeah, he's getting a rebound. And Barclay with the hoop and the harm. Or no, they're going to call it on Barclay, taking the charge. We've got it. Rashad Reed checks in for Shazier Baker. Martinsburg possession here. Whitby inbounded to Bunny. Bunny now to Blackwood. Blackwood spins around his defender, and he's fouled. That one on Tay Wilmer. Is that his third foul tonight, I think? I guess it's his second.
Yeah, just his second on Wilmer.
Inbound to Reed. Now LaCoy Clark from three, and that's through. LaCoy Clark finding his rhythm now into double figures with 10. Down 15, 46-31, 6:11 left in the contest. Ruiz takes the ball up. He's going to go through the lane. Wilmer from three. That's through. Tay Wilmer knocks down the three. He's got 2 threes on the night and 6 points so far with 5:55 left in this contest, trying to knock Martinsburg out of the gym. A deep three from Clark. That one's off the mark, no good. Rebounded by Blackwood. He goes to the rack and lays that one up and in. He's in the double figures with 11. 49-33 down low to Bulldogs. Bulldogs now passes it back up to Ruiz at the top of the key. He then goes to King, gets the screen. King will dribble drive into the rack. He'll lay that one up and no good. Gets his own board, tries to put that up, no good. He's going to take it back out now. Passes to Tay Wilmer. He'll settle it down here, wait to set something up. Passes over to Ruiz. Ruiz fakes the pass. No, fakes another one. Down low to Wilkes. His shot's no good. Ball was taken by Clark. Clark is fouled.
I was going to say before, Martinsburg forces the turnover there, this situation is a perfect situation for Hedgesville and their traditional offense and ability to move the ball around.
Clark at the line.
And they got a good shot.
With the 1-and-1. They're in the 1-and-1, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, that helps a little bit, but obviously
down 16.
You're really going to need to heat up if you're Martinsburg.
First shot on the way, that's no good.
Doesn't help when you haven't made free throws.
Coming back the other way is Wilmer.
It might just be this gym, though, because Hedgesville doesn't shoot a good percentage.
Down low, now he's got it back, and he travels. It'll be Martinsburg possession, Whitby to inbound it. Coach Church is trying to talk to the officials. He doesn't agree with that. Now Whitby over to Bunny. Bunny will pass it down low to Whitby. He'll take a three. That one's off the mark, no good. Rebounded by Bunny. Now back, a deep three coming there from Clark's no good. Rebounded by Bulldogs. Bulldogs going to go in transition. He's going to slow it down. Now to West, a clear lane to the basket. He tries to slam it home. He can't. Rebound falls out of Bunny's hands. Now it'll be Wilkes. Wilkes now to Wilmer. Now to King. He'll dribble drive straight through the lane, and he'll lay that one up. Score the field goal, and he'll go to the line. He's now up to 9 points, looking to get in double figures with this free throw. Jay Shipley comes back into the game as Clark comes out. Elijah King for the and one here. Shot is up, no good. A jumper coming from Blackwood, that's no good. Whitby with the rebound and follow, and is good. Whitby now with 5 on the night. And that's Wilkes, guarded by Shipley. Now over to Ruiz, now to Wilmer, to Bulldogs. Bulldogs clear lane to the basket, but he's going to stop and pop right in front of Rashad Reed. And Bulldogs with the shot. 53-35, 3:35 left. Martinsburg needs to get something going if they're almost down 20 here, down 18. Blackwood to the lane. His shot is up off the glass and in. We've got a timeout here. We'll take one with them. You're tuned in to EPAC Hoops on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10, back at 30.
Hi, this is Lauren from Orsini's right here in Martinsburg. Grilling is not just for the boys. We are a Platinum Traeger dealer carrying the Pro Series all the way up to the Timberline Series. We have every flavor of wood pellets along with accessories, rubs, sauces. Not just Traeger, we carry Utz, Meat Church, Lanes, and Dizzy Pig. We also carry a full line of Yeti products. Orsini's has everything to complete your backyard. Visit us at 360 Hack Wilson Way or at Orsinis.com.
Welcome back to the Gilbert B. Miller Center here on the campus of Hedgesville High School. Spencer Winnick, Rosalini, happy to have you with us. Cameramen this evening, John Alderton, Colin McLaughlin back in the studio, Dylan Bishop, Hedgesville on top comfortably 52-37, 3:36 left in the contest.
Yeah, I mean, Hedgesville's just kind of pulled away throughout, has really had control of this game. You know, a good veteran team, and they've played well here tonight, at least well enough to get the win, and I think especially in this fourth quarter, really closing things out on a strong note.
Bunny's going to get charged with a foul here. Bunny's second, team's fifth this half. Inbounded now to Ruest. Ruest now with 3:11 left in the contest. Over to Barclay. Barclay now to Wilmer. Wilmer now to Barclay. Barclay is going to pass it to Ruest. Ruest down low to Wilmer. Excuse me, that's Wilkes. He scores the field goal. Now up to 8 points.
Yeah, this fourth quarter has really been a display of how much talent Hedgesville has. It's a great block.
Block. Once again coming back the other way now to Wilkes. Wilkes will take it through the lane. His shot's no good, but he's fouled there by Shipley.
I mean, Jackson just ripped it right through him from the Martinsburg player. It's a great play.
I think he's got, 3-4 blocks now easily.
I mean, he's such an active player on both ends of the floor.
First shot coming from Wilkes. That is good. He's up to 9 points. He's 5 for 5 from the charity stripe.
Yeah, Cam Wilkes has been solid, especially down the stretch. We've seen what Bolduc can do. Elijah King in this fourth quarter. Stephon Barclay throughout the contest. So this team has a lot of talent on the roster. Even though they weren't shooting great earlier tonight, they've executed down the stretch.
Second shot no good, 56-37, 2:26 left in the contest. Down low, and the ball was intended for Bunny. It goes out of bounds. It'll be another turnover.
It's been a just consistently, slow offensive night for Martinsburg. It never feels like they've gotten into any sort of rhythm tonight.
Ruest comes out of the ball game. He could easily be the player of the game. Barclay now. Over to Wilmer. Wilmer back to Barclay. Approaching the 2-minute mark left here in the contest. Barclay now hands it off to King. King now to Wilmer. They're just going to play that Kelly Church basketball here to run some clock down left. This contest now to Wilkes. Wilkes will drill drive through the lane, pass it back out. Elijah King's three is blocked by Bunny. Collision in the air. They're going to call a foul here.
Did you know Bunny has hops?
Hey, a bunny does have hops.
It does.
That foul on King. That's his second. Chase Shipley will shoot the 1-and-1 here. Shipley on the night has 2 points. First one is up and through. 1:45 left in the contest. 56-38. Shipley's second one is up and no good. Rebounded by Ruest. Down low to Wilkes. Wilkes going to pass it now Over to Bolduc. Bolduc dribble drive to the basket. Can't handle it. In the basketball game is Anthony Owuna. He turns it over. Wilkes is going to just try and really end this contest here.
Yeah, I mean, this is what good and smart teams do. There's no reason to potentially let another team into it by forcing up bad shots. So, you hold the ball, you look for a good look. If it's there, you take it. But for the most part, you're trying to burn as much clock as possible.
Straight down the middle is Bolduc. It's out of bounds, but it'll go off Martinsburg.
And that's one of those things, the lane opened up, so Christian Bolduc tried to get to the rack. Didn't get fouled or anything, but kept the possession alive for Hedgesville.
Ball into Ruest. Now over to Wilkes. They're just going to let it go.
Called him for 5 seconds, I believe, but the defender really wasn't up on him, so.
No, that was an intriguing call there.
Kind of an interesting call. It looked like he had enough space where he would be allowed to dribble that ball and not get called for a 5-second call, but the official obviously has a little bit better angle than we do from this side of the court.
All right, Nick, timeout here. It's a full timeout. We'll keep it here. So Hedgesville is cruising to this victory. They're going to get the win. They're going to improve to 10-2 and 3-0 in EPAC play. Trying to see if I can find some scores here, but don't have the best service in this building.
Yeah, I mean, Hedgesville's pretty much had control the entire night. Martinsburg's never really been in the game. A really impressive display of athleticism from the cheerleader there for Martinsburg. That's back-to-back games where she's just showed her abilities on the cheerleading side.
Do we know it's the same one?
Yes. So,
all right, I don't have any service in here.
Shout out to the female athletes as well.
Colin McLaughlin, after this one's over, almost immediately will be joined by head coach Kelly Church. As Hedgesville looks to improve to 10-2 and 3-0 in conference here, under a minute left. 56-38 is the score. Shipley now passes it over to Owuna. Owuna to Bunny, back to Shipley. He'll go in, score the field goal. He'll go to the line. Chase Shipley coming on late in this contest, Nick.
Yeah, it's good to see Shipley really emerge himself a little bit better in the second half. He's been really solid for Martinsburg in their other games this season. Just really couldn't do much in that first half, and it's a tough matchup. I mean, you're going up against a really experienced Eagles squad, and Shipley's still a very young player with a ton of potential, though, and you like his game.
That one is through from Shipley, the and one attempt. Getting the word here, Spring Mills on top of Musselman, end of the third quarter, 48-33. We've got a foul here.
Not bad so far then for Musselman. I mean, obviously, 15-point deficit isn't where you want to be, but they've had, some tougher losses than that, so we'll see if they can get back into it and make that one interesting. There's a travel, I think. Yeah. Or double dribble. I didn't see the call exactly, but
it'll be a turnover nonetheless. Ruest will inbound it here. 31 seconds left. Up 15, 56-41. Ruest just going to dribble out the last 25 seconds. He'll pass it now over to Wilmer. Wilmer to Bolduc here, 17 seconds left, and they're going to foul him. Kind of interesting here. You're down 15 points, Nick.
I don't know if that was
intentional.
The plan for Martinsburg to foul there with 16 seconds down 15. I mean, I have said before that if you're within 15, you do sometimes tend to foul, but that's usually if there's more time, like a minute and a half or so with 16 seconds.
Shot is up.
The intention.
No good. Bunny with the rebound now over to Shipley. 9 and 8 seconds left. Shipley at the top of the key. Going to dribble drive, spin around, and he gets fouled by Ruest.
Well, Chase, again, Shipley's been, continuing to give good
Well,
effort.
that'll go on
here
T.
down the
Wilmer.
stretch.
Not Ruiz, it'll go on T. Wilmer. It's his fourth. Shipley, another free throw. That one's off the mark, no good. .8 seconds left. The second one is up and good. And now Ruiz will just run out the rest of the clock here. And there we go. Hedgesville gets the win. 56-42 over Martinsburg. They improved to 10-2 and 3-0 in the conference.
It was a decent fourth quarter for the Bulldogs after a bad third. Decent second quarter after a bad first. But there was definitely a clear display that Hedgesville is the better team at this moment, or was the better team here tonight, which we knew coming in. Obviously, the Eagles had the more experienced team. I was a little surprised that Martinsburg didn't look as competitive as it did against Jefferson, but Hedgesville had a great game plan. They really took away Avion Blackwood. They took away the dribble drive, so they made it difficult on this Martinsburg team to have consistent offense.
Collins now down the court with head coach Kelly Church. We'll turn it over to Colin.
Thank you, Spencer and Nick, down here with victorious head coach Kelly Church. Coach Church, congrats on the win. Your defense outstanding tonight, only allowing 19 in half one, 23 in half two. Just talk about their performance on the defensive end.
Well, again, they have certain players that are so talented. You have to make sure you know your personnel. We did a better job of that in the first half. Actually, we did the second half. We got a little bit of a lead, and I love our kids, but, man, sometimes they want to just go. So we start gambling and doing some things defensively that aren't indicative of who we want to be. So, but overall, extremely proud of our guys. And anytime you're playing Martinsburg High School in a basketball game, you're able to get a win. You need to be proud.
Then offensively, really just attacking and going into the paint, it seemed to be like an emphasis and successful tonight for your team, too. Just talk about the performance offensively for your squad.
Yeah, you got to play downhill. We have some kids that can shoot the ball, and when you have wide open threes, as long as it's within the offense, that's one thing. Shooting quick threes against Martinsburg isn't a good idea. That lets them play fast, lets them get out and run. We saw that in the Jefferson game. They were able to get out early, and so we try to control the tempo as best we can. But again, we're not going to play complacently. We have some kids who can play downhill. So we made that an emphasis as well.
Your team now improves to 10-2. What should we be most excited about for the rest of the year from your Eagles?
Shoot, man, I learned this. Jerry Wainwright, who's one of my best friends, I consider him family. It's a long journey. You better make sure your highs aren't too high and your lows aren't too low. One day at a time. I hope we're better today than we were yesterday, and I hope we're better after practice tomorrow morning than we were today.
All right, thank you, Coach Church. Again, congrats on the win.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you very much.
Have a good night, Coach. Back up to you, Spencer and Nick.
Wise words from a friend of head coach Kelly Church. And make yourself better than you were yesterday and then become better tomorrow, I guess was essentially what was said there. But we'll step aside for a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll have the post-game show. We'll wrap things up here from the Gilbert B. Miller Center. Hedgesville gets the win. 56-42. We'll be back for the post-game show after this 2-minute break.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve.
The Skinner Law Firm, SkinnerFirm.com.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
Conveniently located right off 81 at 214 Mid-Atlantic Parkway, Mountaineer Grill and Pub offers many daily specials, including happy hour 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. with $2 domestic bottles and $2.50 domestic drafts. Monday night is trivia night, Thursday night is wing night, and Wednesday and Sunday night is steak night.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
Rock's Grab and Go is made fresh daily. Grab and Go. now available at Rock's local market. Rock's Grab and Go is made fresh daily. Grab and Go, now available at Rock's local market.
Hello, this is Mark Sutton of the Sutton & Janelle Law Firm. The right attorney can make all the difference in your case. That's why you should call Sutton & Janelle. We have been serving clients in West Virginia and Maryland since 1999 in the areas of family law, DUI, criminal defense, and personal injury. Sutton & Janelle works hard to obtain a favorable outcome for you at a reasonable rate with affordable payment options. Sutton & Janelle values your rights and is passionate about your success. Contact us today at suttonandjanelle.com.
Gilbert B. Miller Center here as we wrap things up after a Hedgesville 56-42 victory over Martinsburg. Hedgesville improves to 10-2 and 3-0 in EPAC play. It's now time for the postgame show brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials in a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. Spencer Dupuy, Nick Verzolini, happy to have you with us here. And Nick, really just, I feel like from start to finish, Hedgesville was in control of the ballgame.
Yeah, it definitely seemed that way. I mean, first quarter, Martinsburg has a very slow first quarter, only scored 6 points in the opening quarter, while Hedgesville scored 17. So you have the early 17-6 lead. Second quarter, both teams only scored 13 points. So you had a much better second quarter, but then you kind of came out flat to begin the third quarter. And the fourth quarter, Hedgesville just kind of was able to add to its lead and execute down the stretch to secure this win. So it never really felt like Martinsburg threatened tonight, and I think it was just an off night for them. I really do think, though, it starts with the Hedgesville defense because their offense at times looked a little sloppy, especially early in the game. Second half was much better, I think, for Hedgesville, but first half they weren't getting their shots to fall from the perimeter, but they were doing a great job of defending Avion Blackwood and keeping him out of the lane, and really keeping Martinsburg out of the lane and keeping the Bulldogs from getting out in transition. So a lot of things worked for Hedgesville defensively tonight, and that's why they were able to secure this win.
Yes, and now we'll get to the game stats brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers, West Virginia's largest Pandora retailer on Route 11 South and Inwood. Taking care of you like nobody's business. Unofficial stats here this evening. Nick?
All right, so leading the way for Hedgesville was Stephon Barclay with 15 points. Elijah King gives him 9. Cam Wilkes with 9. 11 from Jackson Ruest. 6 for Bolduc. 6 for Wilmer as well. So really pretty solid, balanced performance for the Eagles. Martinsburg's leaders, Avion Blackwood scores 13. 10 from McQuay Clark. 7 from Shipley. 5 from Whitby. And then 2 from Baker, 2 from Robinson, 2 from Adams. As Martinsburg falls in this one, 56-42.
There you go. Those were your game stats brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers. We'll now get in to the awards. First, we'll do the moment of the game brought to you by the Milestone Real Estate Group. Chris Ross and Milestone Real Estate Group. Buying or selling a home, call 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com. Nick, I think I know what the moment is. I don't know if you have decided what yours is, but mine is kind of easy. What's yours?
I'm interested to see what you go with. I mean, I think it was just kind of the way Hedgesville started the game with their defense.
Bingo.
Okay.
I was going to say their defense and getting out to an 8-0 lead.
Yeah, getting out to the 8-0 lead and then eventually a 17-6 lead. I think they just kind of set the tone early on and really did a great job. Because there wasn't really anything after that was super dynamic, but I think the way Hedgesville started the game and really put the pressure on this young Bulldog team got them out of any sort of rhythm early on.
All right, next award, the rejection of the game, brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Family-owned, offering superior customer service and great pricing for a job done by experienced, certified technicians. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page. This is a pretty easy award to give, I think.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Which one? Are you going to single out a singular one?
I think the one that I kind of highlighted during the game, about 2:33 to go in the third, I believe it was. He came up and just kind of.
He is who?
Jackson Ruest.
There you go.
Yes. Don't want to play the pronoun game, but Ruest had a great block where he just kind of like ripped it away from the Martinsburg player, but I had to get him involved in the awards tonight since he had such a great performance, but really a standout guy and a standout block there.
All right, now it's time for the player of the game, brought to you by Kelly's Allstate Insurance. For all your insurance needs, call Gary Kelly at 304-263-4596 or stop by 724 Lakeview Drive in Martinsburg. Nick, who's your Kelly's Allstate player of the game?
Well, it's tough because Jackson Ruest, I felt like, set the tone for the game in some ways.
He would be my player of the game.
With his 11 points and the way he played defensively and rebounded as well. But I'm going to go with Stephon Barclay. It's a game against your former team. He leads the way with 15 points. And he did also set the tone. He came out with the first 2 points of the game, and I thought he just played really well. His defense on Avion Blackwood tonight was huge in helping Hedgesville get the win. So I'm going to go with Barclay. Kelly Church decides to give him the start. He hasn't only started this year, and he has 15, and he only averages 4 a game. So really good game for Barclay. Got to be my player of the game.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned a close second is Jackson Ruest, and he did it on the offense, and he did it on defense with not only the scoring tonight, had double-figure scoring, but also the rebounds. He probably had a double-double. If we calculated rebounds tonight, I would think he had a double-double, and he had 3 to at least 5 blocks on the evening as well. But that was your Kelly's Allstate Insurance Player of the Game as we wrap things up here from the Gilbert B. Miller Center. Hedgesville gets the 56-42 victory over Martinsburg. They improved to 10-2 and 3-0 in the conference. After this, you'll hear from Dylan Bishop back in the studio. He'll get you updated on the 2 other games in the EPAC tonight. As interested to see where that Jefferson-Washington game is. But for Colin McLaughlin, John Allerton, Nick Verzolini, I'm Spencer Dupuis saying so long, from Dylan Bishop. Next, have a great evening, everyone.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is prevent, promote, protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
Find that new Chevy truck or SUV you've been searching for right here at CMA Chevrolet of Martinsburg. With over 100 new Chevys in stock, you have options. We have the Silverados, Equinoxes, and more to meet your needs. And we are not selling over MSRP. Get power and fuel efficiency with the all-new Silverado 1500 LTD, space and savings on a new Equinox. And that's not all. Every new Chevrolet has a lifetime powertrain warranty. And did we mention we are not selling over MSRP? Find new roads at CMAChevroletofMartinsburg.com, where owners just care more.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
Welcome into the post-game N1 scoreboard show. Your final score from Hedgesville High School, Hedgesville 56, Martinsburg 42. Dylan Bishop with you for Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 for the post-game scoreboard show, brought to you by Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Company. When it comes to your home, auto, farmer business, they're trusted, reliable, and experienced. Call them at 304-263-0809 or go to FMIWV.com. Apologies for our technical difficulties during the halftime scoreboard show, but we'll get you up to date with scores from around the area and around the basketball world here from tonight. Again, final score from Hedgesville High School, Hedgesville 56, Martinsburg 42. Other places around the Eastern Panhandle with 3:50 left in the game. Last update we got from Spring Mills was that they were defeating the Musselman-Appleman 60-37. And your final from Washington High School, Jefferson, the Cougars defeating the Patriots 84-52. We'll get you some scores from around the rest of the basketball world tonight. We have just one game in top 25 action in Division I, and that was Purdue defeating Nebraska 73-55. And around the NBA tonight, you have the Knicks currently leading the Wizards 98-88 with 4:45 left in that one. Pacers currently defeating the Hawks 101-96 with 7 minutes to go. Pelicans beating the Pistons in Detroit 105-100, 3:40 left in the fourth quarter. Warriors lead the Spurs 74-62 with 11:16 left in the third quarter. At halftime in Chicago, the Bulls trail the Thunder 72-58, and at halftime in Minnesota, the Timberwolves lead the Suns 64-49. Tomorrow, you'll have WVU at Oklahoma at noon on ESPN2. Tomorrow, there will also be a Shepherd Rams basketball doubleheader at Bloomsburg. Men's team playing at 1 o'clock, women's team at 3 o'clock. Rare time of the men's team playing before the women's team. Again, you were just watching Hedgesville Hedgesville versus Martinsburg from Hedgesville High School. Final score: Eagles 56, Bulldogs 42. This has been the N1 post-game scoreboard show brought to you by Farmer Mechanics Insurance Company. Wishing you a good rest of your Friday night and a good weekend. This has been Dylan Bishop with Talk Radio WRNR and TV10.
You've been listening to West Virginia High School Basketball. Today's game has been brought to you by
Bechtel Jewelers, Brown's Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, CMA Honda of Winchester, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, the Mirius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, Hagerstown Ford, Orsini's Home Store, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, and WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Center.
For the continued excitement of high school, college, and NBA basketball, keep it tuned to Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. All rights reserved.